In this session, we'll be discussing from the 19th verse of the 5th chapter of the first canto Srimad-Bhagavatam. Navai jano jatu kathanchana vrajen mukunda sevyanvayat anga samsrutim mukunda sev anyavad anga samsrutim smaran mukundangri upaguhanam punaha vihatumichen rasagraho janaha. The translation is, my dear Vyasa, even though a devotee of Lord Krishna sometimes falls down some or other, he certainly does not undergo material existence like others, fruity workers, etc. Because a person who has once relished the taste of the lotus feet of the Lord can do nothing but remember that ecstasy again and again. In a previous verse, Narad Muni has told Vyasadeva that it is possible that somebody who takes to devotional service due to immaturity may fall down. But he had explained there is no loss for such a devotee. Never there is a loss. It's a permanent gain. Now this verse is telling, even though a devotee sometimes falls down some or other, he does not undergo material existence like the others who are in a fallen condition. Others means non-devotees. Why? Because once a devotee tastes the nectar of pure devotional service, even one drop, even a little bit, he will never forget that relishable taste ever after. He will never forget. He'll always remember that taste. So, Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport, a devotee of the Lord automatically becomes uninterested in the enchantment of material existence. Material existence is certainly very enchanting for ordinary people. There are so many attractions. For each of the senses, there are varieties of sense objects. Just like take the tongue. For the tongue, basically there are 6 tastes: sweet, sour, salty, pungent, astringent and bitter. But the combination, you can have so many different combinations. And it is not just the taste alone and the combinations, but also people want to relish eating different tasty foods by chewing, by sucking, by swallowing. In these ways, so many ways they want to enjoy. Now that is not denied for somebody in spiritual life, but the materialistic persons, they are not just satisfied by some fruits or vegetables or grains. They want animal flesh. They want to eat bird flesh. They want to eat fish flesh. They want to eat eggs. They want to eat so many other types of things just because it has got some kind of taste that appeals to such people. Now, a person who takes to devotional service, pure devotional service, automatically becomes disinterested, uninterested in any material enchantment. None of these material sense objects for any of the senses will attract a devotee, because all the varieties of material attractions are insignificant compared to the powerful, nectarian, highly relishable taste of the sweetness of Krishna's lotus feet. Krishna is very, 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 very sweet. And that sweetness of serving Krishna's lotus feet. Rasagraha. Rasagraha. Rasa. Krishna means rasa. That rasa, you can directly take the meaning of rasa as nectar. But rasa has got a technical meaning also. We discussed this in the beginning of the first chapter. Rasa is the mellow taste of a loving exchange between the lover and the beloved, between Krishna and his devotee. So those tastes are very, 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 very elevated, very exalted, very much relishable. There is no comparison for that in the entire 14 worlds and the entire material existence. So therefore, a devotee, if he falls down, he never forgets that taste. And he will never find anything with the material world which will be similarly tasty. Nothing can compare. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada says, even though a devotee may fall down, he is never to be considered on this as the same as a fallen person who is a non-devotee. The two are entirely different. Prabhupada gives a nice example. The sufferings of an orphan and the sufferings of a beloved child of a king are not one and the same. An orphan is really poor because he has no one to take care of him. He has no one to take care of him. Of course, this is a crude example. Nobody is an orphan in that sense in this material world because everyone belongs to Krishna. But just for the sake of understanding the example in terms of the ordinary vision of a person. There is an orphan on the street. He doesn't have his parents. He doesn't know who are his parents. He's all alone. It's a struggle for him. Struggle and struggle and struggle and struggle and struggle. Whereas a beloved child or son of a king, how will his parents take care of him? The example is given that sometimes when the beloved child of a very rich person makes a mistake, the father may chastise his son. Father may chastise his son. But the father's chastisement is out of love for the child. And it cannot be compared with the suffering of an orphan who doesn't have anybody to take care of him. So similarly, Prabhupada says, an ordinary person in this material world who is not a devotee, he suffers due to the results of his own past activities. Whereas a devotee is reformed by chastisement directed by the Supreme Lord himself. Devotee's position is like that. The Lord, in order to reform the devotee, will personally give some chastisement, give some suffering to the devotee. But after that experience, the Lord wants the devotee to come back to Him. Not that he is going to remain in that fallen condition for a long time. No. It is just a short time to reform the devotee. Sometimes a devotee, after he falls down, he may want, in exchange for devotional service, some material benefit. And he may think foolishly that this material benefit is really going to be satisfying him. But then he will realize that it is not at all pleasing or satisfying any kind of material gain. Or sometimes you may not get any material benefit in spite of doing devotional service. That is because that's a special favor of the Lord on the devotee. The Lord wants such a devotee to be forsaken by all his friends and relatives, and he comes to his senses and he realizes, why did I give up the shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord? What am I doing? And immediately, when forsaken by everybody else, he simply goes back to the Supreme Lord and firmly holds on to the Lord's lotus feet. And the Lord is very pleased, the devotee is very pleased to come back to the Lord. And after that, his position is very, very, very secure. Very secure. Now in Bhagavad Gita, one interesting thing is said that fallen devotees are given a chance to take birth in a family of rich aristocratic mercantile families or pious highly qualified Brahmana families. Now such a birth, either in a highly pious Brahmana family or a rich mercantile family, may be advantageous for the fallen devotee to take to Krishna consciousness again. But it is different when a devotee, after falling down, is put into some difficulty by the Lord Himself in order that the devotee quickly come back to the Supreme Lord's shelter. So those who don't get birth in a rich family or a pious family, but instead have to suffer due to the chastisement given by the Lord, are more fortunate, because very quickly they'll come back to Krishna. Whereas the one who takes birth in a pious family or a rich family may not quickly come back. May not. So, it is very important that one take to pure devotional service and always depend on the Lord, always accept everything as the mercy of the Lord. Even difficulties, even dangers, even suffering as the mercy of the Lord. And this was the position of the Pandavas. This was what Kunti Devi was praying, that we had to face so many difficulties, but every time we remembered you, Krishna, you never let us down. You are always available for us. I want that miseries keep coming repeatedly so that we always remember you. And simply by always remembering you, we are safe. We are completely protected. We are guaranteed to get out of this material existence simply by constantly remembering you. So that is the position of a devotee. I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.